Simnidae Bamboo Grove and the Brave Warriors. The journey to the Simnidae Bamboo Grove was longer and tougher than expected. Their short legs ached from the continuous walking. And the scorching weather, combined with the thick exhaust fumes from passing cars, made things even worse. On top of all that, Doongdoong made things especially difficult for his older brother Doongdoong. Even when they were close to reaching the Simnidae Bamboo Grove, Doongdoong complained with every step, whining that they should just go back home. Adding to the trouble, Doongdoong had secretly packed himself into the bag instead of food, so there wasn't much food left. Oblivious to this, Doongdoong gobbled up what little food they had without a care. Doongdoong finally lost his temper.
If you're going to act like this, just go back home by yourself. I need to become an adult. There's barely any food left because of you. And if you eat it all like this, we'll collapse before we even make it. And stop saying we should go back home. You shouldn't have followed me in the first place. You're making everything so much harder.
Doongdoong, startled by Doongdoong's angry outburst, started crying.
Stop crying! If you keep crying, I'll leave you here and go on my own. I said stop crying!
Instead of stopping, Doongdoong cried even louder, calling for his mother. Doongdoong couldn't take it anymore. Leaving his crying brother behind, he ran toward the Simnidae Bamboo Grove. After running for some time, Doongdoong finally stopped to catch his breath. As the sky turned a deep red with the sunset, he noticed a massive flock of crows gathering in the distance. Suddenly, his mother's warning about crows flashed through his mind. Worry for his little brother, whom he had left behind, overwhelmed him. Turning back immediately, Doongdoong ran as fast as he could. From afar, he spotted Doongdoong crying loudly all alone. But just as he was about to reach his brother, a large crow swooped down out of nowhere, grabbed Doongdoong, and soared into the sky.
Doongdoong!
The crow cawed loudly, carrying Doongdoong high into the sky before disappearing with its flock. Doongdoong was in utter disbelief. Tears streamed down his face as he thought of his parents and Doongdoong. He collapsed to the ground, crying uncontrollably. Just then, a snail who had been observing the entire scene appeared and spoke.
Crows prey on small creatures that get separated from their group. No matter how angry you were, how could you leave your little brother behind like that? You'd better hurry. The crows might offer your brother as a tribute to their queen. You should quickly tell the white herons in the Simnidae Bamboo Grove, stop crying, and go ask them for help.
But I don't know where to find the herons. Please, tell me.
Fine, I'll help you out. Just carry me in your bag.
Doongdoong ran without rest, following the snail's directions. The setting sun cast a beautiful glow over the Simnidae Bamboo Grove, but Doongdoong could only think of Doongdoong. Finally, after making his way through the dense bamboo grove, Doongdoong and the snail arrived at the riverbank where the herons gathered.
Now that we've found the herons, I'll take my leave. I hope you find your brother.
The snail disappeared into the forest.
Please, help me! The crows have taken my little brother!
Hearing his desperate cries, large white herons gathered around him.
Those wicked crows! How dare they snatch another young creature in our territory!
One of the herons called out to the group. "Elders! Emergency meeting!" The elder herons gathered and listened to Doongdoong's story. Why he was on this journey, and how he had lost his brother. After hearing everything, the oldest and wisest elder spoke.
So, you've come seeking the wisdom to become an adult. The wisdom you can gain here in the Simnidae Bamboo Grove is courage. Courage is about overcoming fear and taking action. Rescuing your brother is the perfect opportunity to learn this lesson.
The heron elder continued.
Crows hunt during the day, but return to the reeds near Taehwa River to sleep at night. Around midnight, when the crows are fast asleep, that will likely be your first and last chance to save your brother. Come morning, the crows will begin their feast. Unfortunately, we can't go with you to rescue him. As you can see, we're too large and white. We'd be spotted immediately. Right now, only you, Doongdoong, can save your brother. Once the sun sets, we'll guide you to where the crows are. Wait until they're asleep, and then rescue Doongdoong.
The herons painted Doongdoong black to make him look like a crow. They encouraged him to stay focused and gather his resolve, even as he sniffled and struggled to calm his nerves. When night fell, the herons led Doongdoong close to the reeds. Before entering, the heron elder spoke once more.
There's a chance you might risk your life, but protecting what matters sometimes requires that level of courage. The courage you're showing now is what it takes to save your family. From here on, you're on your own. Just a little farther, and you'll see the flock of crows. Be careful and good luck.
Doongdoong carefully made his way in the direction the herons had indicated. Soon, he spotted an enormous flock of crows covering the reeds. There were so many that it felt as if the entire world belonged to the crows. Lying flat on the ground, Doongdoong crawled closer to the flock, holding his breath. Among the countless crows, Doongdoong spotted the queen crow, a massive bird standing proudly. Beside her, he saw Doongdoong tied up with rope. Tears welled up in Doongdoong's eyes, but he stifled them, crouching low and waiting for the crows to fall into a deep sleep. As the night deepened, the crows finally seemed to be fast asleep, and the area grew quiet. Seizing the opportunity, Doongdoong summoned all his strength and flew toward Doongdoong. Doongdoong crawled cautiously among the crows and finally reached Doongdoong.
Doongdoong! Doongdoong!
Big brother!
Shh! Quickly, get into the bag.
Doongdoong untied the ropes binding Doongdoong, placed him into the bag, and quickly slung it over his shoulder. He then flapped his wings with all his strength and soared over the sleeping crows. Just as Doongdoong thought he had escaped the crows, one spotted him and screamed.
Alert! Alert! A duck is escaping!
The crows woke up at the call and immediately began chasing Doongdoong and Dongdong. Doongdoong flapped his wings faster, but the large, dark crows were almost on their tail. At that moment, far in the distance, a large group of white herons appeared in the sky. The herons, holding large bundles, swiftly flew toward the crows with their big wings, cutting through the air. The herons swooped over the crows and released the bundles. From them, a heavy rain of hot peppers fell. scattering down like a shower.
It's peppers!
The crows, disgusted, scattered in all directions to avoid the peppers. They hated peppers intensely.
We need to leave before the crows regroup.
Taking advantage of the chaos, the herons quickly gathered Doongdoong and Dongdong, flying back toward their safe haven in the Simnidae Bamboo Grove. When they safely returned to the Simnidae Bamboo Grove, Doongdoong looked at Dongdong and spoke.
I'm sorry, Doongdoong. This is all my fault.
No, big brother. It's all my fault. I'll never complain or get angry with you again.
The two brothers embraced tightly.
Thank you so much. I don't know how to repay you for this kindness.
Doongdoong looked at the herons, tears of gratitude welling up in his eyes.
We herons are all brave warriors. We couldn't just sit idle when we saw you in danger. Sending you alone was part of the second wisdom for becoming an adult. Courage. Now you understand that courage is about taking action to change a difficult situation, even when things seem impossible.
The heron elder smiled kindly and looked down at the two brothers.
Now that you've gained courage, rest for a while here in the Simnidae Bamboo Grove, and then head toward Shimbur Mountain to seek the third wisdom. Shimbur Mountain is a treacherous place, even for strong adults, and it will test your courage further. But always remember, no matter what dangers lie ahead, don't lose the courage you've gained today.
What challenges will the Duck brothers face next on their journey to Shimbur Mountain?